Hi, my name's Dean, and today I'm going to be doing a short tutorial on how to create reminders in your Windows Phone apps. Now, we'll be using the Windows Phone SDK 7.1 Beta 2, so if you want to be able to do this, you'll need to download and install these tools. These features are only available in this release of the SDK, which is also called the Mango release. Now, one of the limitations of the 7.0 tools and apps written using that version is that your app can't really do much in the background. If the app isn't running, it can't do anything. But as you probably are aware, the Mango tools now allow your apps to be able to do a range of things even when they're not running or in the foreground. Now today we'll be focusing on setting up reminders. This is a way for your app to set up reminders within the phone that can show up on the phone at a specified time later, even if your app isn't running. Now we'll do this by using the Microsoft.phone.scheduler namespace. As you can see here, there's quite a few types of schedules and notifications that you can set up. Two that are similar are the alarm and the reminder. The alarm allows you to set up an alarm that, like it says here, a notification for which a custom sound can be specified, and you can fire that off at any time. A reminder allows you to do just a little bit more than that, and have a bit more control on what you present to the user when your reminder does pop up, and also what happens when they press that reminder. You can jump into your app to a certain location in your app and even pass in some contextual information. So let's get started. Now I've opened up a new project here in Visual Studio. It's just a standard project. I've called it Tell Me Later because we'll be building an app that allows the user to set up a reminder for sometime later. It'll make a bit more sense as we get into it. So we just have the main page here. Let's open that up. Okay, let's just remove a couple of things here. I'll delete that. I'll change the page name to Tell Me Later, and let's just center that. Right. So rather than have you watch me typing a whole bunch of code, I've prepared some earlier. So let's just insert that here. Now I'll assume that you've set up basic user interface before in Windows Phone and that this makes sense to you. Let's just run through it quickly. We've got a couple of text blocks just to show the text here. We have a text box for the description called text description. We have a text box for the time called text time, which is here, and we've set up a few radio buttons. I should have named these radio, but I've named them check, so check for seconds, minutes and hours, and then a button at the bottom to actually set the reminder. So just a very basic user interface there. So what we need to do is set up our reminder once the user clicks the set reminder button. So let's just add a click event. We just tab through. Visual Studio will create that in the code behind. So let's have a look at the CS file now. And there we have the click event for the button. To use the reminders, we need to use the Microsoft.phone.scheduler namespace. Now once again, rather than have you watch me type a whole bunch of code. I'll just paste it in and I'll run through it to explain exactly what's happening. So once the user clicks the set reminder button, we basically just check to see which radio button is checked, and we create a time span out of that. So if seconds is checked, we take whatever was entered into the time text box as the number of seconds. If minutes is checked, we take it as minutes, and so on. So it's all pretty basic. Now if we just look at that UI, we can see the user can enter in a topic or a title of what it is that they want to do later, and then they can select how much later, in seconds, minutes or hours. So we create a time span out of the hours or minutes or seconds that have been entered by the user, and this is where we get into using the scheduler namespace, and we create a reminder using the reminder class. Now it's pretty straightforward. So we create a new one. Now each reminder has a name as one of its properties, and this name has to be unique for this app. So we're just going to use a new GUID to use as the name, to make sure that if we create multiple reminders that they won't conflict and we won't get any errors. And these can also be pulled out later as well. Using the scheduled action service, you can query and see what reminders you've actually stored into the phone. So anyway, we just need to add a few properties. Now the reminder, let's just have a bit of a look at what shows up here in the properties that are available. Begin time is when you want the reminder to actually be fired off, the time that should happen. Some content which displays on the pop-up that gets overlaid on the phone. The expiration time is when the event expires, and after that time it will not be displayed or fired off. Enabled, scheduled, we have a name. We'll talk a little bit about the navigation URI a bit later. Recurrence type, you can make this recur daily, weekly, and so on. And title that also shows on the pop-up. So what we've done here is give it the title, time to do the following. This will all make sense once we run it and you see how it works. If you don't specify a title, it just defaults to the word reminder, and that's what will show up on the reminder pop-up. So we'll just set the begin time to the current time plus however long the user has specified using the user interface. So if they've specified they want the reminder to happen in 10 minutes, it'll be now plus 10 minutes. The recurrence type, let me just show you the options here. There are a number. If it's set to none, it'll just fire off once. Otherwise, we can have the reminder, recur daily or weekly, yearly, monthly, and so on. So let's just set that back to none. The content will set to the description that the user has entered in to the text box just here. And we'll soon see what that looks like when it happens. So once you've set up your reminder, you can use the scheduled action service class and add the reminder as a schedule. Once you've done that, it's ready to go. So we just show a message box saying all set, and then we'll clear the two text boxes so that the user can enter in another reminder if they wish to do so. So the moment of truth, let's see if it runs. Okay, here's the Windows Phone emulator. And here we go. So here's our app called Tell Me Later. What do you need to do later? Well, it's getting late, so let's set this to go to sleep. Now, how much later? Well, to save you sitting around for minutes or hours to watch this reminder pop up, I'll set it to a number of seconds. So let's say 10 seconds. Oh, and by the way, you can see that the that text box, where are we? It's all become quite a mess. Text time, I've set an input scope to number. As we know, the user will only be able to enter in numbers. We can show the number keypad rather than the standard QWERTY keypad or keyboard. So let's set it up for 10 seconds. We'll leave it on seconds. I mean, it could be 10 minutes or 10 hours away. But let's say, tell me later to go to sleep in 10 seconds. We set the reminder. All set. OK. So let's back out of the app. The app is not running now at all. So, you know, we could go off, open up Internet Explorer. Here we go. And here is the reminder coming up 10 seconds after we added it to the scheduler service. So a reminder pops up like this. It has the name of the app at the top. It has the title. So if we go back to our code, we can see that the title was set to that, and that's what we see there, and this is the content here. Now the user can dismiss the reminder or snooze for a number of minutes or hours or whatever. If they dismiss that, it just goes away. So anyway, that's just a very basic look at the reminder service using a very simple app. I hope this has helped somewhat. It's all very simple, but it's actually quite a powerful feature, and being able to use this in your apps. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks.